Gamers, let's be honest. In-game chat has not been the same for years. In fact, the whole gaming landscape has changed so drastically. Microtransactions run rampant, and half of these games are basically just half done just to sell the other half in an overpriced DLC. But I'm not here for that today. But before we jump into that, as usual, we need to talk about the comment of the day. And Sigma Fu tier list when? Honestly, I might have to make that a real video. But either way, let's jump into the topic of the day. And you might be wondering, what do I mean by in-game chat is dead? Well, ladies and gentlemen, nobody fucking talks nowadays. And don't get me wrong, I get it, to a degree. We all end up in our Discord calls, but why is this actually a problem? I need you to go back to the olden days for a second, lads. Imagine you're back in a COD lobby in 2009, 2010. The moment you enter, your entire bloodline is being insulted just for existing. And that was part of the charm. You see, here's the thing. It wasn't just the insults, and it wasn't just the shit talking that made it fun, but the friendships that we made along the way. You just start talking with some randoms, and you might be playing for hours, and that might end up turning into years. You might still talk to that person today, unless you're met with the unfortunate reality of them never returning forever. Last seen 10 years ago type shit. And honestly, you don't really get that anymore in modern video games. And don't get me wrong, I do rarely actually get a talkative lobby, but for the most part, it's just silence. And that deafening silence just reminds me that times really have changed. It's the opposite now. It was harder to find silent lobbies back in the day. But for the most part, that's all I really got, lads. I'm sorry for the shorter video. And I was kind of rushing to make this before I had to go to go to my job. And I just want to say, I plan on making more changes to the type of content that I do create, just for some variety. Maybe some IRL content, who knows? Also, my Monopoly returns Wednesday, and if something goes horribly wrong, we are returning on Thursday, lads. But you might be wondering, what is the moral of the story? Drink water.